What's poppin' YouTube? You already know who it is. It's your boy Pooh Got Game. Now, I've been tired as hell this week, but you know I had to drop a banger for you regardless, even if I was 6 feet under. Now, you know the scenario. We're midway through NBA 2K19, and we have some people who are going for certain MyPlayer overall goals. If you're a part player or rec player, you understand it's pretty difficult to rep up due to the fact they only give you a small amount of my points for each game. It's widely understood that boring ass MyCAREER is the fastest way to rep up. With that being said, I've been in the career daily like it's a 9-to-5 job. Now, if you know me, you know in the past 2Ks I was a badge grinder, and you know I have 2 accounts. I should be a 99 by now, but I just started over on my lockdown account a few weeks ago. As of today, I'm a 94 overall on my pure lock account and a 95 on my pure stretch. So obviously I know what I'm doing. I have all the badges for both archetypes, including the mentality badges. Yes, that includes all 7 lockdown Hall of Fame badges. So ain't nothing new. I made the channel to help. Now, as you may know, as a lockdown is extremely difficult to grind in the career because nearly everything is a foul. But as soon as the AI clothesline you, the rep looks away. So I made the video to help out the lockdown mafia. However, before you try to click off the video, you could also use some of the tips I give you in the video to help you rep up as well. This video is going to be helpful for any archetype, but if you're a lock or slasher, I advise you to definitely not click off of this shit. I'm going to throw in some tips for other archetypes from here and there, so make sure you're paying attention. Remember, I'm here to help. If you got any questions, leave them in the description, fam, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm pretty great with replying. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go to game settings and turn your settings on Hall of Fame. I understand Hall of Fame can be a bit difficult for some people, but there's no need to worry. You just gotta get a feel for it, kind of understand what you can and cannot get away with. Turn the quarter length to 12 minutes. Under no scenario should the quarter length be any shorter. Another thing, if you don't have your badges on high tier, I recommend staying on pro until you get your badges, then make the move to Hall of Fame. Next thing you want to make sure that you do is boost, which is also something you should already know. Again, if you negotiate your endorsement the right way, it shouldn't even be a stress on you financially. It costs 2,000 VC to boost for 10 games, and the average salary you should be receiving if you negotiate your contract the right way is around 2,400 VC per game. So you make sure that you boost. You also want to make sure that you have Gatorade. You perform worse with less stamina, so you're going to need that Gatorade to help your performance in terms of preserving energy. Me personally, I don't worry about Gatorade because my contract with them covers me. I only boost the skills that I need. So for my lock, I boost blocks and steals. If you're a shooter, you will boost shooting and possibly playmaking. Or if you're a slasher, you will boost blocks, dunks, and steals. Okay, so this one is very important. Make sure you're on a team with great passes, such as the Lakers, who have Rajon, LeBron, and Lonzo. This is going to help you improve your shot making and is good for getting lobs. I recommend playing off ball most of the time unless you have to be on ball. Also, you need to surround yourself with great players to help provide relief, because the most important part to this method is making sure you win. So the key for playing on Hall of Fame is to avoid fouling and to get out on the break. Also, take note, lobs, blocks, steals, pick and roll, pick and pop are some of the things that you get the most mod points for. So you're going to be wanting to do a lot of these things. If you're a pure shooter, you probably should be utilizing pick and pop and the pick and roll mastro to get your shot. However, on Hall of Fame, they might read pick and roll mastro, so I recommend getting out on the break and just using proper shooting mechanics without fouling, as well as utilizing pick and pop. For the other arcs, do what your archetype does best. For example, locks and slasher have velocity on at least the gold tier, so we're going to go out and just start catching lobs. Okay, so the video was designed for the lockdown mafia since it's harder for my fam to grind their badges, and this is some of these methods, they work for any archetype, even if you're a smaller guard. And so let's just get to the point. The main goal is to get your takeover so you can go crazy and let loose. However, it's difficult to get this on Hall of Fame, right? Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm one of the best people on 2K when it comes to ripping the ball. This method works for every arc. I really try avoiding taking a lot of shots in half court situations, so the only alternative to that is to get steals. If you don't know anything about 2K, just know it's a game of angles. So my method for getting steals is to go out at a certain angle and position myself on the side of the ball handler is dribbling with. However, I tend to never let him set up in a half court situation because I realize you get more fouls doing so. So therefore, I approach this guy near half court, or before it, unless I have my takeover. Once I steal the ball, if the lane is wide open, I either alley it to myself or my teammate. If I cannot alley it to myself, I would just take up either a simple dunk and catch posterizer from it, or I may opt to do a Euro instead. I call this next method the Alleyoop Cheese. Like I said before, I try to keep the ball out of my hand in the half court to avoid getting ripped and losing my takeover. This is the reason why I say you need to play with playmakers like Bron and Zoe. So watch carefully what I do. I do this little loop where I hand the ball off to a playmaker like Bron and Zoe. I preserve my stamina and I go around them to get my defender body latched onto my playmakers, and I speed towards the basket and call for an alley. So basically, I get around 22 alley-oops plays a game doing this, so just watch the screen and work on it. It's not 100% effective, but it works. With that said, it's more likely to work when you have more stamina. Also remember, any chance you get to call for an alley, if you have any inside ability and athleticism, take it. You call for an alley by double tapping triangle or Y on the Xbox. Exploiting the mismatch is something you need to know how to do in order to decrease the effectiveness of this rep method. Understand if your matchup is a bad defender. If he is one, exploit him in the post. If they try to double, just kick out to a shooter. Or you could also utilize post moves in this method. So basically, you want to go, if you're a bigger guy, you want to go screen the smaller guard and he'll switch on to you. Move from the original defender so they can't switch back, and vice versa. If you're a dribbler at the one, call for a screen onto the big and do the same and just move away. If your matchup is cold, unless he's a defender, you might want to start trying to go put up shots on him because his shot contest isn't as high. The next method I'm going to go over is baiting, which is basically faking the defender into thinking he has an open shot in order to get a good shot contest or block. If timed right, you could get a lot of rep using this method. What I do is stay far enough where I can recover and either block the ball or contest a shot. I notice you get more blocks on putback attempts, so sometimes I'll allow my matchup to get the rebound so I can block it again. When doing the rep method, you want to go for team takeover instead of regular takeover because it lasts longer. Also, it takes the pressure off of you from defenders because your entire team is hot. If you're a shooter, you want to grab a guy like Bron and make sure he goes off to take the pressure off of you. When they start to double, just kick it out to yourself. If you're a playmaker, run the pick and roll. If you're an inside player, run the pick and roll with you as the roll man. Just in case, make sure you play on the team with a lot of small ball lineups so you can have the versatility to switch onto the 4 spot in the case that they put you at the 3. You switch on the 4 spot, you just utilize him as the point guard and utilize yourself as the roll man. If you're a shooter, just use pick and pop instead. Okay, so if you're a player at the 3 to 5, this is going to be effective for free assists. If you're inbounding the ball, grab a dominant inside player while using takeover. Take that player, head up the court, and dunk the ball. I usually use Kuzma and Corey Harris for this, so I recommend you use any player who has slash in their takeover. If you're not a player at the 3 to 5, basically what you could do is just do what I did on the screen, call for the ball and pass it to your teammate and force him to score. As you guys can see, there's a lot of different things that you could do out of this rep method. Like when you get the steal and go on the fast break, you don't have to do exactly what I do. You could also go for different things like Euro if there's not enough room for an alley. Or you could go and just do flashy passes to your teammates or do a lob to your teammate. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to do one thing out of this. You could do many different things. You could do drop steps. You could do just plenty of things. Just make sure that you're doing more than one thing. So when you're getting those reps, you're getting your rep points, you're utilizing the most out of each possession. Alright, mom, so basically that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you're new, sub to the channel. If you're not new, you already know what I like. I like interacting with my subs. Add me on PSN. I like talking to my subs, man. I like chatting the party with my son, having fun. I do this for the simple fact that I get to help people and I have fun. So if I'm not getting into interact with any of y'all, I'm not having too much fun, am I? So add me on PSN. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. Let's get this video to like 20 likes. It's your boy Pooh Got Gang, and I'm out. Peace.